Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Focus V Carta 2 Diamond Dab of the day. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. As always, when you enjoy today's video, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, send a like, and a reply to all those comments. Let's get started on today's topic. Many of us, everyone, has relationships, personal relationships, family relationships, friend relationships, business relationships. So how do we communicate with them, all of the people involved, more positively and more effectively? How do we focus on what we can do and what we say? How can we communicate better? You see, a healthy relationship depends greatly on our ability to communicate our thoughts, our desires, needs, and issues. The trick might be how to express ourselves with all the emotions that surround that and can submerge your efforts in a sea of emotion. How do we do it? How do we become effective communicators in our relationships? First thing you have to do is withhold criticism. That's right. There's so much communication out there that involves put downs and highlighting what people don't do right. The end result of those types of attacks is a defensive person and eventually the end of the relationship. So instead of being critical, let's focus on positively reinforcing what our partner, what our associate is doing right, and offer constructive criticism when it comes to things that could be improved. You see, the key is here that you don't want to discourage the other person. And by being negative, by being critical in difficult ways, and not carefully wording what you're saying, you can inflict emotional damage on another person, unknowingly or knowingly. You gotta own your statements. You gotta own what you say. What you have to say is gonna be more powerful and better heard if you own it with an I statement. That's right, I feel this way. Taking responsibility for our thoughts and feelings and perspectives empowers us to create better solutions so that we'll be heard and listened to better. Even if our partner, associate, or friend doesn't agree with us or even understand our perspective, they're not going to fault us for how we feel. We need to be willing to receive feedback. That's correct. Communication needs to be a two-way street. If you expect to hear the other person out or expect the other person to hear you out, you have to do vice versa. And you're going to be vulnerable. That's right. You're going to need to reflect on what you say and what the other person says, because you got to remember, there are three sides to every relationship: your perspective, the other person's perspective, and the truth. What you become is a player in what's going on, and you need to be open and available to that person so they can see what matters, including your role in it. We've got to be present and participate. That's right. You can't worry about what you're going to say or how you're going to respond during casual, critical conversations with your partner, for example. Just listen and give nonverbal signals that you're truly engaged, nodding your head, maintaining good eye contact. Demonstrate that you're listening by reflecting back. Am I understanding correctly what you just said? I'm sorry to hear that. Or I see why you're upset. You see, the key is, even if you're at a loss for words and have nothing to say, just thanking them for sharing is very effective. You've got to show people you're present and participating in how they're feeling. And you got to give yourself a timeout if you deserve one. Some conversations become intense, and sometimes it's better to say nothing at all. It doesn't mean you should stop addressing an issue. It simply means that you need to revisit certain conversations at appropriate times within a reasonable time period with the proper tone. Don't interrupt. Boy, that should be written on the forehead. Or change the subject. Or be a know-it-all. Or act like something was hard to say, was never said. Basically, don't do anything you wouldn't want that other person to do to you during any kind of conversation. These types of things apply to everyone, by the way. Listen to yourself, talk in a mirror, And you'll say, wow, I'm really surprised. That might have been the real cause. So what happens is you'll be more mindful of your conversations. You'll listen to the other person. You'll hear them out before you start to respond. And do remember to keep your tone in check during casual everyday interactions like a phone call, or just discussion over lunch, making small talk. Easy. During intense conversations, you got to avoid using domineering, hostile, or sarcastic tones. Don't minimize or dismiss the other person's fears, worries, or dreams. And always ask. People aren't mind readers, not even your spouse or your partner. If you need something, ask for it. These people aren't going to know what you need. They're not going to be able to give you more help. They're not going to be able to give you the affection unless you let them know. Put the request out there. A good partner will try to deliver on that request. And always express as much appreciation as you can. Acknowledging the little things from the other person that often can go unnoticed go a long way. It could be simply thanking them for taking the dog out for the walk early in the morning so you didn't have to. Or thanks for making that nice dinner, even if they make dinner for you every night. Recognize the routine is what it means. The value of the other person's daily contributions in making your life easier and more enjoyable makes the other person feel valued and, frankly, more willing to continue to contribute in your life and make things better for you. Never forget the I love yous. Lovers are all too reliant on Valentine's Day, anniversaries, and notable dates to express their feelings. But the point is, I love you. You're so beautiful. I find you amazing. Randomly spoken are the most important. They can express your love much greater than a card. And when they become a regular part of your relationship maintenance, it'll become the glue when other relationship resolutions become harder to sustain. You know, the key ingredient here is effort. Just try. A lot of people I know say, oh my God, it's over, whatever their relationship was, and you just say, oh, that's too bad. But you know what they go back and say to themselves? A lot of these people, well, I don't know if I tried as hard as I should have. No, you can blame the other person for different things in a relationship with other people, but you've got to do as much as you can do to make it work as well. Let's do our Carta 2 Diamond Dab for you all. Thank you all for joining me today to discuss a very important topic, how we can improve relationships. Here we go. We're going out on 380 degrees on a rainbow ride. Dab train will be in shortly. Thanks, everybody. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, send a like, and I reply to all the comments. Have a great day. Oops. And thanks for joining The Real Senior Stoner. Dab train is here. You can improve any relationship. Just takes effort. Have a great one. Cheers, everybody.